All right, let's dive into one of the most incredible pieces of biological engineering you will ever own, your arm. I mean, we use it for absolutely everything, every single day. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder how it all works? Well, we're about to find out. Seriously, just think about that for a second. The sheer range of what our arm can do is just staggering. You've got the explosive power needed for a fastball, and then the delicate, precise control it takes to paint a masterpiece. So what is the secret? How can one thing be so versatile? To figure it out, we're going to go on a little anatomical journey together. We'll start right up at the top, at the shoulder, and we're going to work our way all the way down to the fingertips, exploring each part to see how it all fits together. You ready? Let's go. Okay, our first stop is the shoulder. You can think of this as the anchor for the entire arm, and its real genius is this constant balancing act between providing the raw power you need for big movements and at the same time allowing for this incredible, almost 360-degree range of motion. Now, the muscle you probably think of when you picture the shoulder is the deltoid, and for good reason. It is the powerhouse here. What's cool is that it's actually split into three parts. You've got the front part, which flexes your arm forward, the middle part, which lifts it out to the side, that's called abduction, and the back part, which extends it backward. It's like a 3-in-1 muscle for all the major arm movements. But here's the thing. All that power from the deltoid would be completely useless if the shoulder joint itself wasn't stable. And that is where this vital support crew comes in, the rotator cuff. These are 4 smaller, deeper muscles that basically act like guide wires, keeping the top of your arm bone snug and secure in its socket. And what's so amazing is how these 4 muscles just work in perfect harmony. The supraspinatus gets the party started, initiating that lift out to the side. Then you've got the infraspinatus and teres minor, handling all the outward rotation. And the subscapularis, which sits on the front, it takes care of inward rotation. They're this perfectly coordinated team, giving you both movement and that critical stability. And you know, because this support crew works so incredibly hard, it's also a really common place for injuries. This is especially true for people who do a lot of overhead stuff. Think painters, swimmers, baseball pitchers. We call this rotator cuff syndrome, and it can be anything from simple inflammation all the way to a full-on tear. So, how do clinicians even check for this? Well, one of the classic moves is called the empty can test. You basically hold your arm out like you're pouring out a can of soda, so your thumb is pointing down. The clinician will then gently push down on your arm. If you feel pain or weakness doing that, it could be a sign that there's an issue with the supraspinatus muscle, one of our key support crew members. Okay, let's head down from the shoulder. Our next stop is the upper arm. And the story here is really a classic partnership, a simple tug of war between 2 opposing muscle groups, the biceps and the triceps. It's a really simple but absolutely brilliant push-pull system. You've got the biceps on the front of your arm. That's the flexor. Its job is to bend the elbow to bring things closer to you. Then you've got the triceps on the back. That's the extensor. Its job is to straighten the elbow, to push things away. They're total opposites. When one contracts, the other has to relax. It's this beautiful antagonism that gives us such controlled movement. But hey, here's a little insider tip for you. While the biceps gets all the fame and glory, the real workhorse when it comes to bending your elbow is actually a muscle hidden right underneath it. It's called the brachialis. It is, without a doubt, the most powerful pure flexor of the elbow. So yeah, the biceps helps, but the brachialis is doing the real heavy lifting. Okay, let's keep moving down the line. We've arrived at the forearm. Now, if the shoulder is the power source and the upper arm is the main lever, you should think of the forearm as the incredibly sophisticated remote control for your wrist and your hand. At first glance, the forearm looks ridiculously complex. It's jam-packed with over a dozen little muscles, but thankfully, they're organized in a really logical way. Just like the upper arm, they're split into 2 main compartments. You've got the flexor muscles on the front, or the palm side, which curl your wrist and fingers. And then you have the extensor muscles on the back, which, you guessed it, straighten them out. And to manage all that complexity, the muscles are actually arranged in layers. It's pretty neat. On that flexor side, the superficial layer, the one closest to the skin, handles the big, broad wrist movements. Go a layer deeper to the intermediate layer, and you'll find the muscle that bends your middle knuckles. And then, in the deepest layer, you've got the muscles that give you fine control over the very tips of your fingers. It's this beautiful, layered system, moving from gross control to very, very fine control. And all of this, The power from the shoulder, the leverage from the upper arm, the fine-tuning from the forearm, it all leads right here to our final destination, the hand. This is the whole point of the system. This is the ultimate tool. You know, to really get a feel for the hand's anatomy, let's do something interactive. I want you to try and find a little landmark on your own hand. It's got a funny name. It's called the anatomical snuff box.
Okay, ready? First, just give a big thumbs up, and then pull your thumb way back, like you're hitchhiking. See that little triangular dent that shows up at the base of your thumb? That's it. That's the snuff box. Now feel the edges of that little triangle. The tendon you feel on the side closer to your index finger, that's your extensor pollicis longus. And the two tendons you can feel on the other, outer side, those are your extensor pollicis brevis and abductor pollicis longus. How cool is that? You're literally feeling the tendons of the forearm muscles that control your thumb.
That incredible level of control is possible because of the hand's own complex internal structure. Which brings me to this number, 5. What in the world could the number 5 have to do with it? Well, it turns out that on top of all those muscles in your forearm that control the hand itself contains five distinct compartments of its own tiny intrinsic muscles. These are the little guys that allow for those incredibly fine-tuned movements, like pinching something, or cupping your palm, or adjusting your grip with millimeter precision. So, as we wrap up our little tour here, it becomes so clear that the arm isn't just a random collection of bones and muscles. It's really a symphony. You've got the powerful shoulder, the lever-like upper arm, the controlling forearm, and the nimble hand, all playing their part perfectly together to let us do just about everything. I mean, this design has been refined over hundreds of millions of years of evolution, and the result is nothing short of a masterpiece of engineering. Which kind of leaves us with one last big question. As we try to build the next generation of advanced robots, what can we learn from the elegant, powerful, and incredibly adaptable design of our own arm? Something to think about.